So guys, today I wanted to talk about two things that are very interesting. So the first one is that they just updated us on why basically they did the nerf on the Merkava Mark IV and STRV 122 on the top part of the armor of the turret, right? So basically they are saying that there was a bug in the composite armor on the turret that was making the calculations on HE shells especially to overestimate the protection, basically, right? So artillery shells, some forms of rockets and stuff, and missiles and stuff, were basically not, or even bombs, they say, basically not doing anything when they were, hitting the upper part of the turret armor, right? Which that's why basically they, fixed that, and technically it is a nerf, right? So technically they nerfed that, which means that they actually made it so that it's a little bit weaker, okay? So that's why we kind of have a feeling that it was a nerf, but it's actually a fix. If that is the case, I wasn't playing too much with these two vehicles, so I honestly don't know much about this bug. I wasn't feeling anything because I wasn't playing too much with them, but apparently that's the why on what the nerf happening, okay? So the nerf that we talked about last week, of course, right? So this is the first one. Another thing is this, guys. So Zabi just found some stuff in the files. Thank you, Zabi, for doing this. There are some updates that are coming that are going to be very interesting. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, the main thing about the video, guys, is that more strategic bombing missiles missions are coming. So they added a deep strike, infrastructure, air defense, Rocky Canyon, Sinai, southeastern city, and Golan Heights map with this strategic bombing mission type thing, okay? So they're probably going to either add these to the rotation or they're just going to do a test. We don't know yet. There was a leak that we're going to talk about later, but that we're talking about this, so we're going to get to that. But in a general perspective, it is basically what we already saw before, right? So as you can see, locate the power plant and destroy as many of its buildings as possible. Prevent the enemy from destroying the power plant buildings. Destroy power plant buildings, protect power plant buildings. So you can see that basically we will have major infrastructure objectives for strategic bombings, which is pretty good. Hopefully with this, we see strategic bombers coming. I really honestly doubt, but honestly, hopefully it happens, okay? So we probably will have some form of update on this very, very soon, right? There are some other changes over here. For example, the amount of number of vehicles needed to pass to certain, ranks got changed. A lot for ships, but there is two of them that it's not for ships. For example, the tanks one. So for Japan, in the rank, to unlock rank 7, you will need 5 tanks now and not 4. And for the aircraft in the Swedish tech tree, instead of 4, you will need 6 in the rank 3. Okay, so that's kind of it. And they did another change on here on the detectable ordnance range. So basically, I think it's gonna need these missiles, the Panzer missiles, the Aster missile. I mean, I might be misreading this, but it feels like it's gonna need to be a little bit closer to actually detonate like weapons and missiles and stuff. So I think that's it, but I don't know exactly, okay? And just for you to understand the leaks, guys, we had these Olivia leaks over here a while back. Let me actually find it very quickly. But it was kind of a while back that we had this. But basically, the strategic bombing missiles missions, why am I talking about missiles? Missions were leaked last year, 1 year ago, literally like 1 year ago. Less than 1 year ago, but still, strategic bombing and oil refinery on the Golan Heights map playtest. So they were saying playtest, and this thing actually, predicted correctly that we would see the seed mission on Vietnam map playtest, right? So I would assume that this is right as well, and that we will see the actual, like, being at playtest. So the strategic bombing, will probably be a playtest. So what I can draw from this is that The same way with Vietnam, we didn't have any new vehicles technically. I mean, they added new vehicles, but in a general sense, just new weapons like the smoke for the rockets and the F4. But in a average sense, it would be the same vehicles that we see. I would assume that this is for the same vehicle. It's just going to be a mission test and nothing else, right? And sometimes, guys, these things, they take a lot of time to be added. Why is that? The thing is, I mean, why, I don't know, but they normally take a long time. For example, the seed mission was leaked way before the, but, it takes a little bit of time, as you see, to do that. And it takes a lot of time for these things to actually be added as well. So, for example, the playtest for the seed, it's been a while. It was in the early days of this year, right, that we got that seed event. And it's been a very long time, and we are still not having any type of seed mission on actual maps, right? The same goes for the U-boat event. I mean, we had submarines being added to the game, like properly in a playtest event, and it took a long time. It's taking a long time for that to be added as well. So just because we are having these maps, it doesn't mean that it's gonna come soon, which is kind of sad, and it doesn't mean that it's gonna have a B-52, a Tu-95, or something like that as well, okay? So just bear that in mind for you to not get, misled or sad about this. We're not gonna see any B-52s probably. We're not gonna see any new bombs or missiles or anything probably. And it might take a while for this to come to the rotation. It might just be a playtest, and then that's kind of it. Okay, guys? So basically, this is it. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. And yeah, bye, guys. See you.